Okay, hello everyone. Lara from Complete Test Success here. I made a little mistake, a reasonable size mistake, when I was scheduling this live stream last week. I scheduled it at PM instead of AM by accident. I only realized a few minutes ago. So I don't know if anybody is going to show up or not. If a few people show up, then we'll go ahead. If no one shows up, we'll just stop early. I got my AM, PM mixed up, so I made a mistake. If you're watching the recording and you had intended coming at the scheduled time, apologies for that. But basically, the plan is I will show you a task 2 question. I will get you to attempt to respond to that task 2 question, and then I'll give you feedback on your responses. So that is the plan. Okay, great. Looks like we have a few people here, so that's good. Hey, Sharafat, good to see you here, as always. A regular student. I'm doing good, thank you. A little bit embarrassed about my AM, PM mistake, but we're here now, so we may as well push on. Hope you're doing well too, Sharafat. Okay, so that's basically it. I'll show you a question, and I'll get you to perform various tasks. Hi, Dr. Sadaf. Morning to you. Good to see you here. Okay. So basically, this is the question. Nowadays, people are able to use the internet to do an increasing number of tasks. Is this positive or a negative development? So this would be pretty much like any, like, do you agree or disagree? Any opinion question like that. So all you're going to say is what you think, but will also make it easier. It will make it easier to get a high score if you either you say that it's completely positive or you say that it's completely negative. Because when you do that, you're making it much easier to have a consistent opinion. So in this lesson, we're either going to say it's completely positive or it's completely negative. And it will depend on the ideas that you guys come up with. Hi, Maravik. Good to see you here again. Today, I had to change the time of the live stream because I have other things that I need to do earlier. But I actually just completely scheduled. So it wasn't that I scheduled 10:30 instead of 10 in my time. I scheduled 10:30 p.m. instead of 10:30 a.m. So I made it I made a mistake and I changed the time. Hello, Adnan. Hello to you. You're new here. Great. Good to see you. Tad, nice to see you too. It's been a while. Yeah, I was moving back to Ireland, so been offline for a bit. You too, Mian. Good to see you too. Okay, so to get started, as we would with any IELTS question, any writing question, we will need to write the paraphrase. So for anyone that's new, the paraphrase is simply this. We take that sentence and we rewrite it in our own words. So I want you to do that, put it into the comments, and I'll give you feedback on your attempts. Just make sure that it has the same meaning. So don't add any extra information. Don't remove any of the information. It just should have the exact same meaning, but with different words. Change as many words as you can, but do not change the meaning. Okay, so I'll let you do that. Share it with me in the comments, and I'll be able to give you advice as to, how successful you were in your attempt. Hi, Jasmine. So we will need to say that later, but not yet. For now, we're just going to look at the paraphrase. So just write the paraphrase first, and then we'll come to the opinion and the reasons for your opinion after this. So Adnan, you've changed the meaning, so that's not acceptable. It's talking about the internet, not talking about technology in general. So that's one mistake. And then this phrase, ramping up tasks. And this is actually a very, very common mistake that we'll see from candidates doing the IELTS test, is they're afraid to use words from the question. So instead of using the word internet, which is, I mean, there is no other word, or at least the internet is the most well-used word for that technology. So just use the word internet in your paraphrase. That's fine. You don't have to change every single word. Just change some of the words. So change it a bit. You can use the word internet in your paraphrase. That's no problem. The second thing then is this ramping up tasks. That doesn't mean anything. So don't try to don't put all your attention on vocab. This looks like a typical response where the student is putting all their effort into using as wide a range of vocabulary as possible, because that's what they think is required for a high score. But the problem is you're using phrases that you cannot use accurately, and now it doesn't mean anything. Ramping up tasks has no meaning. So just use more basic, simple vocabulary to clearly communicate what you want to say. So 2 points there. Firstly, copy the word from the question if you need to copy it. And secondly, don't push your vocabulary way beyond your ability. In recent days doesn't have the same as nowadays. So nowadays is what's happening now. In recent days would more be, in the last, few weeks. So it's a different meaning. So that doesn't work. Using internet is raised. So it's not that the internet has risen, it's the number of people using the internet has risen. In every work, no. So in many tasks, or in more jobs, but no, that doesn't work among the individual. So I think, it's already implied who is using the internet, so you wouldn't need the individual there. Thank you, Jasmine. You too. Okay, so currently instead of nowadays, that's accurate. There is a significant amount of usage of the internet for multiple tasks. So it's not that there are multiple tasks, it's that there are more tasks than before. So to do an increasing number of tasks. So, the idea is that in the past, fewer tasks were done on the internet than now. So that's not exactly the same meaning. And then we won't worry about your opinion yet. We'll come to that later. Adnan, good. That's what we're here for. Mian, in this age of technology, most people are capable to do numerous jobs. No. So what you've said is more about the number of jobs people have. So like maybe in the past, everyone had one job, but now people have 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. So you've changed the meaning. Prakash, hello, sir. I got my IELTS result. My score is listening 6, reading 5, writing 6, speaking 6, overall 6. Can I have any chance to apply in any country because I got a low score in reading? So what you're talking about, you're kind of gone the wrong way around. You're talking about you've done the IELTS test and now you're going to apply, but that's not the way you would do it. What you do first, and I don't know if you can apply. I don't know what requirements different countries or different universities have. Any students that join my course, I'll make it their responsibility to decide what they want to do. So that's the first thing, is have a plan. So, like if you want to go to study in the UK, decide where you want to study and find out what scores are required to study in that place. And from there, we will work on improving your scores until you're capable of getting that score. So it's not do the IELTS test first and then figure out what you can do with it. It's figure out what you want to do first and then work towards getting the required score for that. I don't know. I'm not giving you a direct answer to your question because I don't know. But my advice would have to be, focus, find out what scores are required for whatever you want to do first. Make a plan, decide what you want to do, and then take it from there. This test is difficult. My request to the British is make it easy. Well, the problem is that it has to be difficult enough so that people can do what they need to do. So, like if you're going to study in the UK, they want to make sure you can actually understand the course. So if it would be like, okay, Malik, come in here and study, whatever, accounting in Edinburgh in Scotland with a band 5. So you go, great, get your band 5, go and study there, and you spend a 1 year understanding nothing in your course. You fail all your tests. You definitely cannot pass because you cannot understand the information, and then you cannot, complete the tests. So the idea is, let's make sure whoever studies in Edinburgh can actually have an opportunity to pass the test, instead of taking in someone who has absolutely no opportunity, absolutely no chance of getting through the test. So if it was made easier, it would result in, a lot of people in a very bad situation when they move abroad. So that's what it's about. It's about making sure that people that do study in the UK actually can, handle themselves in the universities. So that's what it's about. Making it easier might get you there, but it definitely wouldn't help you to, complete your master's or your PhD or whatever it is you're looking to do. Jasmine, you need my help? Perfect. That's what we're here for. Miss Universe questions. I have no idea what that means, Jasmine. Hey, Big B. Okay, these days individuals are allowed to utilize, so it's not that they're allowed. To be able to means capable, but to be allowed to is about permission. So somebody said you can do it, or somebody said you cannot do it. That's allowed. So that's not the same meaning. To complete a rising number of tasks. Yep, so the rest of it's good. Jaspreet, presently individuals have an access to internet for doing ample of work. No, ample of work doesn't mean anything in their daily life. So not the exact same meaning there. Sharafat, currently masses are using, no, so it's not that. We wouldn't use masses in that way. Currently the masses are using internet in their every task. No, in many tasks or more tasks. So not every task. And the users are increasing. The users aren't increasing. It's the number of tasks that's increasing. So that's not right either. In recent times, people can utilize the internet to complete increasing numbers of tasks. What about this? Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so you're on YouTube. I'm even going to grab yours and I'm going to put it into the lesson so that we can move forward with the next task. So just give me a moment. I just need to jump onto YouTube here and I'm going to copy and paste that. Okay. Okay, so just the punctuation mistake. In recent times, people can utilize the internet to complete an increasing number of tasks. Perfect. We have it. What you can see here is the words that, like internet, copied, tasks, copied. In fact, increasing number of tasks. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. An increasing number of tasks. An increasing number of tasks. I would prefer not to copy 5 words in a row. So this is good. People can utilize the internet to complete. This looks good. So let's change. More tasks than before. Okay, that's all we needed. So that's the paraphrase written. Now, once we've completed the paraphrase, what we're looking at is this. What main ideas can we use? So that's the next task. So we're going to have, and I wouldn't just limit yourself to, I wouldn't just limit yourself to, okay, I think it's positive. Now let's think of ideas why it's positive. Or I think it's negative, so let's think of ideas why it's negative. Don't limit yourself to one side. Keep it open. So you might easily think of 2 ideas why it's positive. And if you do, then use that. Or you might easily think of 2 ideas why it's negative. And if you do, think that. So don't just restrict yourself to, I'm only going to think about ideas for one side. Think about ideas for both sides. And then whichever comes most easily, then in your essay, say that, this is what I think. Okay, so what we're looking for then is develop ideas for, why is it positive, or why is it negative. As soon as we have our ideas, as soon as we have 2 ideas for one of these questions, then we'll be able to start writing the essay. So just think about that first. Why is it positive? Why is it negative? When you have 2 ideas, now remember, you want 2 ideas that are relevant and specific. That's how you know you can use them. So as soon as you have 2 ideas for why is it, 2 relevant specific ideas for why it's positive, then I want you to put those into the comments. So say positive and your 2 ideas. Or if you think of 2 ideas why it's negative first, then in the comments write down negative and those 2 ideas. So that's what I want you to do. Tell me, what main ideas can we use for this essay? Okay, so I'll just continue looking at the other comments as you guys are doing that. Recently, using the internet become more efficient. No, so to do lots of tasks. It doesn't say anything about being efficient. So that's very likely the reason why people are doing it. But we don't want to add any extra information. We just want to take exactly, what it says in the question here, just that information. No extra information. We don't want to add anything extra. We don't want to remove anything. So just take it with you're changing the words, not the meaning. So if the question doesn't say efficient, then you don't. Malik? Good. Adnan, sir, what are chances of getting a student visa from the UK as I've got 39 backlogs? I don't know what 39 backlogs means, Adnan, but in fact, I don't know anything about getting a student visa. So of course, I've helped a lot of people to go and study in the UK, but they tell me what scores they need. And it depends on, what course you're doing, what university you want to study in. Different universities have different requirements. So like I was saying earlier, decide where you want to study first, find out what score that they require from you, and then, put all your effort into achieving that exact score. Zishan, presently, people are provided with the usage of internet to do multiple tasks. So the word provided isn't suitable here. So it's just that they're able to, means, they can. Not that somebody is giving it to them, but just that they are able to do that they can do that. So that's not accurate. Presently, individuals have you don't need have access to the internet for doing ample of work in their daily life. Ample of work doesn't mean anything. And it's not about that they can do a lot. It's that the number of tasks is increasing. So it's higher now than it was in the past. Hello, Akhil. Solwyn, the emergence of internet has enabled people to work, would be to do a number of tasks from anywhere in the world nowadays in comparison to the past. So it has to be, so when you put number, you'd have to put a higher number of tasks, and that would be suitable. Yeah. Okay. Sharafat. Okay, so we have some ideas coming in. Great. It's positive due to it makes life more easy than earlier. This is too vague. Now, remember, I said your main ideas, they need to be relevant and they need to be specific. This is not specific. It makes life easier. So, you might have an idea why it's easier, and I might have an idea why it's easier, but there is a good chance that we have different ideas about why it's easier. So that's not specific. If it was specific, we would both definitely have the exact same idea in our heads. The idea that you're communicating would be the same idea that I understand. But when you just say it's easier, there might be 5, 6, 7 different reasons why it's easier, and now it's open to interpretation. So am I thinking of the same idea as you? We don't know. So it's too vague at the moment. So that's not suitable, Sharafat. But, when it's vague, you just need to ask yourself, why do you think it's easier? And you will come up with specific ideas based on that. Jaspreet, it enables individuals to do teamwork easily. Good. Yep. So it allows people to do teamwork more easily. But the thing is, Jaspreet, you need 2 ideas. So you're not finished generating ideas yet. So at the moment, you have half of what you need. But what main ideas can we use? So, if you were to start writing your essay, you wouldn't be ready yet. So wait until you have 2 ideas. The internet was used by many people nowadays. So, Jasmine, this isn't communicating what the question says. You're saying that it's used by many people. Yeah, that's true. But what we want to talk about is that the number of tasks that people can do with the internet is increasing. So without that information, you have not paraphrased the question effectively. Amir, in this contemporary era, many people rely on the internet through which they are capable to do their work. No. So it's not about their work, it's about the number of tasks they can do. So, it might be tasks at work, it might be tasks, just daily tasks. So it could be, like online banking. They don't need to go to the bank, they can just do it on their laptops or on their phones or whatever they use to access the internet. So it's not about doing their work, it's about the number of tasks that they are able to do. So, it could be, shopping online, banking online, whatever, like communicating with friends and family, whatever the task. Actually, that's probably not a task, but whatever other tasks they'd be doing. So it's not limited to doing their jobs as you've written. It would be any tasks. Positive, it enables individuals to do teamwork easily. Negative, encourage behavior of comfortness. I don't know what that means. I don't understand what you mean by comfortness. But there is another issue with this, is that maybe you joined the lesson late and you didn't hear me, but we're either going to 100% say that it's positive and we'll give 2 reasons for that, or we're going to say it's negative and we'll give 2 reasons for that. So what you've done is you've gone 50-50. And the problem with that is part of your task achievement score is to have a clear opinion throughout your answer. And when you go 50-50, it's more difficult to explain why you're kind of a bit here and you're a bit here than just saying, I'm here. It's much easier to write an answer that will get you a high score, because it's very, very clear which side you're on and there's less room for error. So what I would say is you have one for each side, that's fine, but you stay thinking of ideas until you have 1 more. So obviously, if you end up with 2 for the positive side, then in your essay, you will say that it's positive and you'll give those 2 reasons. Or if it turns out that your second or your third idea here, if you have 2, so if your third idea is on the negative side, then in your answer, you will just say, I think it's negative, and you will use those 2 ideas, and you will completely disregard your idea on the opposite side. Abukari, in these technological era, so it'd have to be in this technological era, people can now use the internet to perform more tasks than before. So you're making some grammar and vocab mistakes, but what's very good about this is that you have the exact same meaning. So you haven't changed the meaning, which is exactly what you're aiming for. Of course, it would be better without the vocab and grammar mistakes, but essentially you have done what you need to do here. So this is good. Dr. Sadaf, positive, less time consuming to get access to plenty of information. Okay, so that's one idea and it's suitable, but again, we need 2. Positive, okay, Adnan, positive. It saves time and efficiently does the task. That's the same idea. That's not 2 ideas, that's 1 idea. It saves time because it efficiently does the tasks. So that's not 2 ideas, that's 1 idea, but you've written it with 2 different sets of vocab. It's the same idea. So no, that's not suitable. Having the same idea twice is not 2 ideas. So you'll need to look for another idea. You're not ready to continue yet. And Vang, they can do anything easier. Too vague. too vague. What can they do more easily? What can they do more easily? Due to a lot of misleading kind of information, people might get confused. So are you talking about the internet in general, or are you talking about doing tasks? They get confused about doing tasks? I'm not sure I understand that point. Okay, Dr. Sadaf. Negative idea. Put a lot of strain on one's health, especially eyesight, and sometimes results in obesity because of sitting constantly while using the internet. Okay, so let's take that. And what was the previous one? Okay, I'll come back. I'm after my comments skip down a few. I'll go back to the top again. More convenient to use it at any place, whether in the office. So you can do tasks from anywhere. Okay. Okay. Yep, that's suitable. Hi, Otuka. Because internet improves efficiency in business operations. Okay, so I'm just waiting until we have 2 ideas for one side, and then we'll move forward. Positive because people can find anything from the internet, which was hard in our earlier life, and nowadays students also learn through the internet. This isn't relevant. You're just talking about the internet. You're not talking about why it's good or bad that we are doing more tasks on the internet. So we're saying previously, we didn't do as many tasks on the internet. Now we do more tasks on the internet. Is that good or bad? Is it positive or negative? So not just talk about the internet in general, but talk about why it is positive or why it is negative. People don't need to go shopping as well as to pay any kind of bill, such as electricity bill and Wi-Fi. So now you're just mentioning the tasks that we can do, but you need to say, why is it good or why is it bad that we are doing more of these tasks online? Put a lot of, so we looked at that one already. Is it important to write ideas in the introductory paragraph? Yes, for your coherence and cohesion score, it is. Yep. Positive, aid humans to process their tasks more quickly and accurately, create a safe workspace from home. Okay, so I think maybe like create a safe workspace from home. I don't really understand. I can change it. It's not clear, but I think what you're saying is it's safer to stay at home than it is to go out. So if we're doing tasks from home, we're not worried about, getting into a car crash while we drive to the bank like that. Okay, so that makes sense. It's faster and it's safer. So let's use that. Okay. So let's go with those 2 ideas. Okay. So I personally believe okay, perfect. Thank you, Bigby. So those are our 2 ideas. That's all we need. I believe that it's positive, and then we say why, because it's faster and it's safer. Right. So from there, obviously, in the real test, I wouldn't construct an essay in this way. What I would recommend is you just write your plan completely. So your plan will be, what are your main ideas, and then you will decide how you will develop those ideas in your plan. So what I would like you to do in the real test is generate your main ideas and then decide how you will develop it. But for the sake of this lesson, because it's easier for us all to follow along together, we'll just focus on one idea next. So based on the first idea, let's say it's faster. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. We'll focus on the idea that it's faster. What I want you to do, so your next task for me is to consider how can we develop this idea. So that would be our body paragraph. So we're going to say, the first reason why I believe it's positive is because doing tasks, using the internet to do more tasks is faster. And now you need to explain why is it faster to do these tasks on the internet. So very basic. I mean, anybody would understand already why it's faster, but the purpose of the essay is for you to explain that. So there is your next task. How can we develop this idea that doing an increasing number of tasks on the internet is faster? Okay, Abu Khari, it's positive due to time serving and high productivity. So is that the same idea? It's faster and more productive. They're kind of tied in. I would say they're very similar. So I wouldn't go with that. One of those is fine, but not both of those. You cannot use the same idea twice. Mian, positive. People can do different activities at the same time. Good. For instance, students can do research while preparing their presentation for a school project. That seems like one task. I'm not sure about your example. Doing different activities at the same time would have to be like if something was automated. But I think that's a bit of a complicated idea. So I'm not sure if that's the best one to go with. But it is relevant, but it might be difficult to explain. Okay. Otuka. In these present days, individuals are able to utilize the internet to achieve a greater amount of works. No, to complete a greater number of tasks. So you're very close, just some vocab issues there. Sharafat, it gives us instant access to information on almost any subject. Shops and other services are now available online. People can buy goods and services from the comfort of their homes. Really, if we're still looking at main ideas, only that last sentence is appropriate. Because, we're talking about completing tasks. So, you're just describing things on the internet. So there's lots of information on the internet. That's not a task. Shops and services are available online. That's not a task. People can buy goods and services from the comfort of their home. That is a task, and that is a reason why it's positive. So that would be one main idea in the last sentence, but the first two sentences don't communicate any relevant information based on the question we're looking at. Okay, as well, so I'm doing live lessons every week. I intend posting videos every Thursday as well. But I also have my live feedback lessons on Zoom. So those are free group classes for my email subscribers. I know a lot of you are already there, and I've met a lot of you in those lessons. But for any of you who are new, I just want to share that link with you here. So free live feedback lessons on Zoom. If you haven't already subscribed, click on that and you will see the schedule. You'll be able to sign up and you'll see the schedule. And those cover reading, writing, listening, speaking, all parts of the test, general training, academic IELTS, everything. So free lessons on Zoom every week for my email subscribers. And I know a lot of you here have already subscribed. I know that, but just for the new students here. Gaurav from Punjab. Hello again. Good to see you here again. Dr. Sadaf, negative idea. It deprives the individual to make the best use of their cognitive skills and becomes too dependent on the internet. I'm not sure. Okay, becoming too dependent on the internet, that I can see that as a problem. I can see how you would say that's negative. You don't want to be dependent on anything. But not the best use of cognitive skills, that I'm not sure how you would explain that. That could be a difficult one to develop, would be the problem there. Because, you're completing the same task. So, like, let's say if we're talking about, I'm just using, making bank transactions. So if I have to make a bank transaction, I can go to the bank and I can speak to, the person working there and get them, fill out the form and they do it for me. Or I can, open my bank app on my phone and I can complete the same transaction. So I don't really see how we're talking about cognitive skills here. So if I have to get in my car, drive to the bank, fill out the slip and do it there, versus I open my phone and I do it there, I don't see how there's a difference in cognitive skills. I don't see how that's relevant. So I might be wrong. You might be thinking of it in a way that I'm not considering, but when I look at it, that looks irrelevant. The second idea is okay. Okay, so just to keep you all on track, remember we're talking about the idea that it's faster, and I'm asking you to tell me, how can we develop the idea that it is faster? So that's our focus at the moment. I'm just going through the older comments to give everyone feedback on the previous tasks, but this is the one that we're doing right now. Hello, Amir. Good to see you here again. This would reduce the flaws caused by humans. Yeah, that makes sense. Otuka, works and tasks is not the same thing. No, because work, when we talk about work, we would talk more about your job, how you make money. But when we talk about tasks, it would be just around the house. A task could be something like cooking dinner, washing dishes, clean the house. But then it could be pay your bills, just any small little tasks. But I can't use the word task to explain task. Any small jobs that you need to do, but not your job like the job you do to make your money, but any small jobs around. So no, work and tasks wouldn't be the same thing. Hey Gaurav. Doing good, thank you. Hopefully you're doing well too. Have you done your test yet? No, you've been preparing for quite a while. Okay, great, Aaron. So Aaron has started on the main idea we're looking at, that it's faster. Okay, so Aaron is looking at this task here. How can we develop the idea that it is faster? So this is important to restate the idea. So that's exactly what we should do. It is a positive. So just an article mistake there, Aaron. It is a positive development because people can manage to complete their tasks faster via the internet. So quite a few mistakes with language, but this is correct. For example, using online banking services, so not would be, but is, because it's already a thing, is much faster than going to a bank in person. Now you need more. Tell me more. Why is it faster? So you need to go into more detail in this. So talk about driving or walking or commuting to the bank. Talk about the fact that you have to wait in a queue before you have an opportunity to talk to the person. So talk about all the things that you would have to do but you don't have to do, and how you're saving time. So in the explanation or in the example, you have to tell me, why is it faster, not just tell me it is faster. So when you say here online banking is faster, why? So you have to assume that the reader doesn't know why, and you have to tell the reader why. Don't assume that the reader already knows. Don't assume that the reader agrees. It's your responsibility to explain that to the reader. So you haven't done that. You haven't done that here. So your development isn't appropriate, but you're heading the right direction. You just need to expand what you've said. Miscalculated issues caused by humans, such as financial subjects. Yep. So that would be a main idea. There are fewer errors. So I think, was that your idea earlier? Yeah. So Amir, like you said here, yep, that makes sense. This would mitigate the miscalculated issues caused by humans, such as in financial, say like financial areas, I think would be more accurate. Hi Delitzo, good to see you here again. Okay, so far all we've seen in relation to this task is errands. So we'll just wait a few minutes, give the rest of you a chance to catch up. Okay, so we have a few here. Big B. Faster. This is explained by the fact that the internet is not tired and they are able to work without any breaks. Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Obviously, it's not long enough. What we're looking to do is write about 100 words about it being faster. So yes, what you said is correct, but not long enough. Gaurav, so what to do if we have no idea about any task? Well, that's a problem that you need to fix before you go to the IELTS test. So why does this happen to you? I mean, in general, my experience with students is that they end up thinking of ideas that are irrelevant, or they think of ideas that are too vague. Like once you understand that the ideas don't need to be complicated, that you don't need any special ideas, you can choose the most obvious ideas. You will definitely have ideas, and IELTS is not going to ask you a question about something that's very, very complicated. They're asking you just about general ideas about, the way life is. So if this is happening to you, it's most likely that you're coming up with ideas that are irrelevant, or you're coming up with ideas that are vague. I've never sat down with a student who could think of no ideas. Generally, they just think of ideas that don't fit the criteria. But you need to practice. If this is happening to you a lot, that you sit down, you look at an essay and you're like, I don't know what to say, then do lots and lots of essay planning. Don't stop, don't move on from a question until you've thought of your ideas. But you're going to have to do a lot of essay planning if you have problems with idea generation, and just continue on that for as long as it takes. But I mean, I've worked with you in the live feedback lessons, and I don't recall that being an issue. In fact, I recall you always having good ideas. But yeah, it's usually like it could be a confidence thing that you're worried that you won't be able. But in general, students do have ideas. The main problems is that they're not appropriate. Otuka, you're very welcome. Thanks, Delitzo. Big Me. Moreover, one computer may process a lot of tasks precisely at once compared to many hours required to do the same tasks by humans. Good. But I think they're doing a lot of... No, because you're not talking about people using the internet to do tasks anymore. Oh, you are. Yeah, you are. You are. No, sorry. My apologies. That is appropriate. Yep. Good job, Big B. Mohammed, In recent times, that needs to be plural, people tend to use the internet for doing multiple jobs, multiple tasks, or many, tasks is just more clear. I reckon this is a positive development because it gives access to do the job virtually from anywhere. To do the job from anywhere. Yeah, I would remove the bit about virtually. Big B. As a result, people can make use of the advent of the internet to spend more time exercising as well as playing with their children. So let's just see now. Big B had a few points there. And Big B's on YouTube, so you can only put in smaller, shorter comments. Okay, so the internet doesn't get tired, it doesn't need breaks. It's more precise, so it needs less time than humans to complete the same task. And then as a result, people can make use of the advent of the internet to spend more time doing exercise as well as playing with their children. No. So what we don't want to do is talk about what people will do with the extra time that they have. We want to explain, because we only want to talk about, is it a good or a bad thing that people are using the internet to do more tasks. So we said it's a good thing because it's faster. Now we need to explain why it's faster. We don't need to explain what people will do with the time that they save. Now we're gone away from the topic. So only how is it faster? Why is it faster? An example of it being faster, just that. So don't talk about, you don't need to talk about what someone would do with the time they save, just how or why are they saving time and an example of that. So no, everything else you said is suitable, but this bit is not. So leave that out. Okay. It is faster because people can save their time. That's the same meaning. So basically you said it's faster because it's faster. Or you could say people can save their time because it's faster. But our main idea was faster. So no, you don't want to say that. For example, instead of going to the bank, people can pay online. And again, like we had earlier, you need to expand that more. So why is that faster? So, talk about the commute, talk about waiting in a queue, talk about driving back home again, all of those things that take up the time. Great. Thanks, Ritesh from Nepal. Lovely place. I spent some time there. Okay, so we'll finish up there. That's the end of the comments, but let's just have a look of what we would want. So your next paragraph will be something like this. I'm stuck now without any of the time-consuming requirements. Something like that. That's kind of what you're looking for. So you're explaining why it's faster, or you're developing why it's faster. So that's what you're aiming for, that type of thing. Okay, so I'll just look at any comments that are left, but that's pretty much it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, click like. share Complete Test Success, any of your friends, family members, or colleagues that are doing the IELTS test, make sure to send them my way so that I can help as many people as possible. Okay. Nasreldin, in the past, people needed to be abroad or study to attend conferences, but now they can attend or learn anything online through Zoom or Google Meet. So this is why it's faster. Complete their tasks faster. We wouldn't really refer to like a meeting as a task. No, no, it doesn't. Because when we're talking about tasks, completing a task, we're talking more about, small jobs that you would need to do, small little things that need to be done. So no, attending a meeting wouldn't be considered a task in the context of what's written here in the question. So no, that wouldn't work. Okay. So that seems to be pretty much it. That's the end of all the comments. So we'll finish up there. Like I said, I'll have a video out on Thursday, so look out for that. Sign up for my live feedback lessons. There's one tomorrow, so I'll be able to see you there, and I'll have another live stream this time next week on Tuesday. So I will see you there as well. If you need anything, you can contact me here, lara@completetestsuccess.com. And yeah, that's it for now. Best of luck in your test if you have a test coming up soon, and I'm not talking to you before then.